Three, two, one, and we're live. All right, thank you for joining me. So we have new data that has come in. Good news is I have some good news. There's no eruptions anywhere right now. There was a volcanic eruption that occurred in 2023. There was one in June, October, and November. See, these are the months. One January to February, and then one in October. This was the first vent that ever erupted magma. Everything else has been phreatic eruptions. These are all indeed. This was the first magmatic eruption outside of the Iwo Jima vent. The 2001 eruption formed an island. It was all the same vent here. This is all in the same location. Even though they're showing different locations, this is all the same location. This is that new vent that erupted magma. And the color codes means from what year when these eruptions occurred. See right here, 2001. That's just showing some steaming. That's just some steam coming out of that vent. Light steaming. See, I'm gonna translate that into Japanese from Japanese to English. Steam rising from Idigohama. Idigohama. Idigohama.
井戸ヶ浜からの噴気
Yeah. So it's basically showing steam, but now we're going to show you uplift. That's the new vent, and this one erupted magma. Oh, yeah, that's the name of the vent. Chidagohama.
18日に海上保安庁が実施した上空からの観測では、千鳥ヶ浜河口では海緑色の河口湖から少量の湯気が上がっており、河口周辺の海域では海白色及び青白色の変色水が認められました。沖縄浜沖のこれまで噴火があった地点では気泡の湧出が認められました。
And here's what I was going to show you. So this is showing uplift and subsidence. This is showing centimeters. So right here it looks like rapid uplift and then subsidence and then slow uplift resumed. Right here you can see it. The last update was in November, which showed it going from October to November, and then slow uplift continues. See, it's showing a very slight trend upward. Very slight though. So the rate of increased uplift is pretty slow. It even shows it almost plateauing right about here. So right now, unrest has slowed down at Iwo Jima, which is good news. But this was likely a small pause in unrest, and I believe that unrest will resume at Iwo Jima shortly. By shortly, I mean in a few months. Because there's been a huge influx of magma under the edifice. And that eruption may have reset some of the unrest, or that big. This is likely not directly from the chamber, but I believe that this is a sill from the cone sheet intrusion. And then subsidence, as some of the magma from the sill, from the intrusion that went into the shallow areas, kind of degassed a little bit. But now uplift is increasing as more magma is still influxing from the cone sheet intrusion. From the chamber into the cone. This is known as a cone sheet intrusion. All right. So let's look at Campi Flegrei. It's been pretty quiet. There was a small earthquake today, occurred around 6 a.m. local, 7 local time, about 1 a.m. here. This is about 1 a.m. in the morning. Other than that, there very little earthquakes. I mean, it's been quiet. It's been very quiet at Campi Flegrei today. Yep, it's been like really quiet. This is the only exception right here. It's probably the ones. I'll say that's a low to mid magnitude 1 earthquake. And all the other quakes are 0 to magnitude 1s. I mean, it was so small that it's barely showing up at CFMN. So this is a very small quake. Yeah, not even showing up on Ischia. And let's look at CBAC. Not even showing up. Maybe. Yeah, that's definitely in the low magnitude 1s. CBAC is in the middle of Pozzuoli Bay. That's why you're barely. Yeah, I mean that seismic signal looks so weak. I mean, I think that is the earthquake. I mean, you're seeing a little bit of a thickness and then not seeing it anywhere else, but it's still showing up. Yeah, so I'm just thinking. Yeah, it's very weak. I would say that's a low magnitude 1. A little quake there. But you know what's so funny is it was preceded by these type of events here. That's likely movement of fluids, and that's an earthquake there. See, it is showing up at other locations, not CBAC. So I would say the epicenter is near, I would say, Solfatara. That's likely a teleseismic signal. Where was it? I think it was CBAC. Nope, where was that thing? I think it was CSOB. I know it was somewhere. CFMN. CBAC, no. CSFT? Could have sworn. There we go. Yeah, there's a teleseismic right here. Yeah, you see that little wiggly, wobbly thing? That's likely a weak teleseismic signal from an earthquake. Yeah, that's definitely a teleseismic signal. The teleseismic began around 8 a.m. in the morning. This occurred today. So let's check for any large earthquakes. Because it was today. Okay, could have been this one. I believe it was this one. Yeah, it was a 6.2. 2:34 a.m. local time. So this would have been at 7:34 a.m. regional time, or 7:34 a.m. Greenwich Mean Time, because this was local time. This is Eastern Daylight Time. Let's see. I mean, by the time it would have reached there, I do think that was a quake, because it would take about an hour. For this distance, it would probably take about an hour for seismic signals to go from here to here, because it's very far. Because it's almost halfway around the world from here. You're going from off the Eurasian continent to almost the western part of Eurasia, going to Italy, so that's pretty far. So yeah, I believe, yeah, and it's about 30 minutes. And That's the seismic signal from that earthquake. 'Cause this is about 30 minutes, and it began right about. You can almost see little wiggles here. About less than an hour. So yeah, definitely makes sense. And I believe it's an aftershock to that earthquake. Yep, it's definitely subduction related. You can see that looking at the beach ball, it almost looks like it's trying to be a little bit of strike slip here, but no, it's more related to uh, right. Yeah, it's related to subduction of the north of the Pacific plate under the I believe it's the what plate's here? Let me check. See what plate's subducting. Yep, it's the North American plate. Huh. No. So this was here. So it's the Kuril-Kamchatka Trench. So it's the Okhotsk plate. Yeah, that's what I was thinking. I thought it was Okhotsk plate. Yep. So it's the Okhotsk plate, which is so the Pacific plate is subducting under the Okhotsk Sea plate. Yep. The Okhotsk plate. Yep. That's the one. So yeah, Iwo Jima right now is it's still technically having unrest because it is uplifting, but it's far the uplift rate has the uplift rate has slowed down and it's now in a period of stagnation where the uplift rate has slowed down, which is good, but it's still uplifting, and that's a concern. There is still uplift going on. So there we go. This is what I'm. Oh, let's go back here. Again, there is still uplift, but it's slower. So see the uplift rate. There was a brief. Looks like a bit of a increase in uplift, and then getting a little subsidence, and then. But it's very slow. even here, it looks like it's uplifting, but it's a steady rate, and then right at the end of August, boom, and then back down, and then uplifting again. All right. So I'm thinking about getting a Nissan Kicks. It's not a compact. I don't really like that too much. I 24 to 28 combined, 25 combined. Tiguan. Uh, Starting at 33,000. Ugh. Yeah, might get the Tucson. Might get the Kia Sportage. Ooh, the Chevy Equinox is another good option. Honestly, I just want to get a Nissan Rogue. $29,000. Wow. They didn't even show me the Rogue. Yeah, this is a much better option. Yep, looks like I'm with Team Nissan. Great for storm chasing. It's fuel efficient. It has standard intelligent cruise control. Anyway, so yeah, it's a good car. Anyway, my live stream is about to shut off because I think my mom's about to shut off the Wi-Fi. Yeah, I live in a pretty toxic environment, unfortunately. You know, it's not like the worst environment, but it's not ideal. So I'm going to show you something very. Oh, nope, this is not what I want to show you. Let's go to Legacy. Let's. It's still not finished loading. So then I'll show you guys the 18Z1. Of course, the GFS is. The 18Z1 is on crack. I mean, it's showing a big, huge snowstorm, which I don't think is going to happen. I mean, this is just not going to happen. I mean, this ain't going to happen. I mean, I'm going to be honest, this is not going to happen. I mean, I'm a snow lover. I want this so bad, but it's just not going to happen. 24-hour Kuchera method. It's going to come around the 240 hour. Here's the storm system beginning to form. Look at what it shows Pittsburgh getting. 54 inches of snow, the Kuchera. 10 to 1, of course, shows much less snow. It shows like 3 to 4 feet. Kuchera is more accurate because it actually uses temperatures like on a scale from cold to warm, like from way below freezing up to freezing and above, while the 10 to 1 ratio uses a fixed temperature, about 27 degrees Fahrenheit. And it's only accurate if temperatures are in the upper 20s. But with Kuchera, if temperatures are very cold, you get a much higher snowfall water ratio. So 10 inches of 1 inch of liquid in a very cold environment could equal 30 inches of snow, instead of 10 to 1, where 10 inches of snow is 1 inch of liquid. You could get 30 inches of snow having 1 inch of liquid because the snow is so airy, because it's so light and fluffy. So this is known as the fluff factor. Kuchera does very well with the fluff factor. You know why they're showing more liquid here? Because it's in the mountains. So let's look at 24-hour precip accumulation. That's what it will show you. You're going to have your higher precip. Look, right here, look at that. Look at that 4 inches. Right there. Possibly lake effect. And let's see. Yeah, that's your Kuchera right here. And this is what Kuchera is based on. And this is when the storm happens. Look how cold it is going to be, even on the East Coast. I mean, if this happens, this is going to be an all-out snowstorm. Negative 13 degrees Celsius. So now we're going to look at surface temperatures. Alright, it's going to take a while to load. Yeah. But it's going to show sleet. See. Why is it showing sleet? Because of that brief increase. For just that little increase from here to here. So you could actually see this. This is winds coming out of the southwest aloft. Southwest, 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 southwest. And then it just shifts and it comes out of the northeast. But why, even with the southwest wind, it gets suddenly so colder is because of that north wind. It has an inversion. So this is showing Fahrenheit. 17 Fahrenheit, dew point 19 Fahrenheit Celsius. 19 Fahrenheit at ground level. But look at all this high humidity. All in this area. Look at this. That's almost 8,000 feet of sub-freezing temperatures with near 100% humidity, about 7,000 to 8,000 feet. So you're going to have a lot of dendrites forming here. This is the dendrite area. Even here you're getting dendrites from about 700 down to 800 millibars. So 50. So you're gonna have a lot of dendrites forming here. Low level clouds forming snow. You're gonna have sleet and snow with this. Best guess precip type. It should be mostly snow because here's the thing. You can have a little bit of melting. You will have some melting, but this is 100% humidity right here, all the way here. Just a lot of snow. And then look, you can have a little bit of melting. I mean, it's mid 30s. It's not very conducive. This is not going to be like a hard melt. And it's only going to go above freezing for what? To calculate the temperature above freezing, this little area right here, this is 40 degrees Fahrenheit right here. This is 5 degrees Celsius. Boop. You're still going to be in the low to mid 30s, so you're not going to get much melting. It's going to be almost all snow. And I'm going to see where this is in. I think it's going to be somewhere in Queens. Brooklyn, okay. Do a little bit further north. And east. 82, and I'm going to increase this to 75. Maybe a little further east. 82. And then I'm going to make this 77. Okay, a little too far north, I think. Yeah, I think that's fair. So you see sleet and snow. Oops. Well, that's way too far north. Again, a little too far north. Alright, let's change that to 75. And oops, I meant to increase that to 76. Yeah, I think that's a good area. Alright, I'm going to be going to sleep now. I know this is a, yeah, see, best precip type sleet. Now let's see what this changes. This is barely further north. This is like not even, only a couple miles away. Sleet and snow. I beg to differ. This is going to be all snow. Even the other one is going to be all snow. Yeah, this is going to be an all snow event. Just popped. Actually, it's going to be rain and snow. Sea showing 37 degrees at ground level. I wish this happens. I mean, that big snowstorm on the East Coast, that'll be really nice. Yeah, it looks like it's not going to happen now. Isn't that the same system? Yeah, so it's the same low. Because this is already in, like, New Mexico. Yeah, completely cut off. Yeah, look at that, nothing. Just cold. All just a lot of cold. Yeah. Well. Wow. That was off the coast, and still, even there, off the coast. Yeah, this is more likely to be sleet. That's definitely sleet. That's in the low 20s. So, yeah. I don't like the looks of this. Yeah, that storm is not going to happen. All right. So Iwo Jima is experiencing moderate uplift, slow uplift. I would say this is a few centimeters right here. Looks like in the last 2 months, it's been about, I would say, 8 centimeters of uplift. So it looks like 4 centimeters of uplift per month, which translates to about I would say 4.2. Multiply that by 12. That's about 50 centimeters, or about half a meter per year. So we're under a meter right now of uplift. So both rates have definitely slowed a little bit. Yeah, but it looks like we got some new data. So there was uplift and then subsides and then resumed slow uplift. Oops, wrong one. Yeah, it does look like the uplift rate is indeed increasing. Because right here, there is a surge in uplift right about here, and this correlates with a movement towards the west. See how this is going east, east. You see, means east, and yet this is going west. And then look what happens right here. Eastward movement is increasing. And see right here, it looks like the movement north almost ceased right here. But it looks like it's trying to resume. See how this is going kind of flat, very slow uplift, and then a big surge, and then subsidence, and then look. Yeah, see? Yeah, definitely uplift here. They're going to update it very shortly, so. Alright, guys. I'm heading to bed. Thank you all for watching, and good